Hey, welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you're a subscriber. I thought I should do a quick garden video. I haven't posted in a hot minute. We are quickly heading towards winter, and here in North Central California, that means it's time to get your winter crop in. Of course, there's other parts of the United States that you could do this, and also if you have good a greenhouse or some type of covered mechanism that creates a warmer climate to extend your crop for a few months. Here we only have probably a week or two, maybe just a hot minute that the plants don't want to grow, the cold weather plants. And actually a lot of the winter greens, your kale and some types of lettuce and some other things, do better in the winter time than they do in the summertime, because it gets so extremely warm and dry here. Often we won't see a drop of rain for 6 or 7 months. So we were really on it this year, because the trick is when you're planting seeds, the soil has to reach a certain temperature for those seedlings to germinate. You also don't want to get into a situation with the worst combination, which would be wet soil and cold weather, because often that can make seeds just rot right in the ground, right in your garden beds, especially some of the larger seeds when you're looking at fava beans or peas or things like this. But we have perfect timing this year. And that's the thing that people don't really understand about farming, or don't understand about gardening. And it's really important for you to be a little bit self-actualized, to understand your level of discipline and your, who you are before you invest a ton of time and money into a garden. Because what I tell everyone when they come to my home and see the beautiful plethora of vegetables and fruits and other things that we have, all organic, and they're like, oh, it must be so fun. And I'm like, no, kids. Gardening is not just a hobby, it's a discipline. To do it correctly, it's a discipline, because just that one time that you're not on top of the bugs, the predators, the disease, the watering, you will lose everything in a matter of hours. And that's what you have to know before you get into this, is that gardening it's a discipline if you actually want to be successful and reap the rewards of your journey. And sorry, I give real advice. I don't believe that, especially today in our world, that people have the luxury of being mollycoddled. All right, let's get to the fun part. I'm going to turn the camera around and show you what we have going. Okay. So, in our larger bed here, we have a combination of Chinese chrysanthemum greens. So Chinese chrysanthemums are really interesting, and I'm going to show you a more mature version of this plant. It's a bitter green, and many people don't know about Chinese chrysanthemums, but they actually grow into a rather large bush, and they flower these beautiful little yellow white flowers. And the Chinese use the flowers, dry them, and use them as a medicinal tea, as a detox kind of tea. They're very bitter, but that's medicine, right? But you can also eat the greens. And when you take the greens and stir fry them, they're not only full of nutrition, but again, very medicinal. And it's considered like a bitter green, similar to an exaggerated endive. Here we have some magnificent, look at the size of these seedlings. These are radishes. And then just poking up, really difficult to see, fava beans. Now, I have never grown fava beans before. When I tried last year, they rotted on me. I had bad timing or didn't know what I was doing, but I have a friend who is helping me with the garden this year because of my Lyme disease, and he got these in about a week and a half ago, and they are germinating beautifully. And the thing about fava beans is that they can be, you can eat the foliage. So as the bush, it actually grows into a rather large bush from what I understand, you get the benefits of eating the greens like a salad or a vegetable, and then you get the benefit of the fresh beans, and then if you let them mature all the way, you can harvest and dry and have the dried fava beans. So, fava beans and radishes and some chrysanthemums. This bed we just got planted yesterday. This is a combination of beets and fava beans. These two beds are going to be all mixed greens. So all different types of lettuce and more beets. I did the heirloom variety, so they're all different colors. And the thing about beets that people don't realize is really one of the best parts or greatest thing about growing beets is eating the leaves, eating the greens. You don't have to pull the beet out right away. You don't have to wait for that beet to be fully grown and harvest. Just have your hyper focus on the root. It's the greens have just as much nutrition, if not more, than the root. And you can eat those beet greens every day in a salad, stir fry, whatever you want to. And you'll get a lot more food, a lot more bang for your buck, harvesting and eating the greens instead of taking out the entire root, the entire beet. Over here, these are our winter peas, which are looking pretty glorious for only being about a week and a half old. And so again, a lot of people don't know, not only with domestic peas, but also with the wild sweet peas, that the foliage is edible and delicious. So as it's branching out, you should pinch it anyways, which creates more branching and you get more fruit, more vegetable, more peas. But the reason we plant so many of these, this is kind of like a bush variety, and we eat a lot of the greens in stir fries, and they taste like a delicious, tender, mild version of a pea. And over here we have all different types of Chinese vegetables. We have kale, red-stemmed mustard. We have some cilantro coming up, some blue kale, freckled romaine, endive, the broadleaf, some broccoli, lettuce bowl lettuce, carrots, and more radishes. I don't usually grow radishes because it's one of those things that are easy and inexpensive to get from the grocery store. But I've just got into probiotics, so I'm making my own probiotic fermented vegetables. So they're kind of like pickles without the vinegar. And so I needed more rooted vegetables, and that's why I've focused a lot more planting some more rooted vegetables so I can do that. I'm trying to heal my body, and I think the probiotics is the big buzzword right now, focusing on your gut health. Now, this is these beds are in various stages, and when you're dealing with greens, with growing lettuce and crops of greens, the natural progression of greens, even lettuce, is that first you have your beautiful lettuce bush, and then that will bolt, it will bloom. And then as it starts going into that stage, it becomes very bitter, and then it blooms out to something like this. So this, which looks a lot like a dandelion, shot out these flowers, and now it looks like a chicory. And the reason that I allow several of my plants to go all the way to here is because then I can collect my own seeds, and I don't have to buy seeds every year, because seeds are getting more and more expensive, and it's kind of great to know that your seeds are indeed organic, blah, 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 if you like that level of confidence and control. So these various cabbage and kale, they've only been planted for a couple weeks now. So these are more mature. They've taken root really well. We have a beautiful little butternut lettuce under here. Isn't she pretty? And this is because you should plant you should Ideally, if you want to live off your garden, or if you want to have consistent, good nutrition that you don't have to purchase at the store, you need to plant your greens in cycles of like every 4 to 6 weeks to have them constantly. That was my point. So you can see these, all of these greens have been in here for approximately 4 weeks, 4 or 5 weeks now. These were all volunteers, because basically I allowed this to happen. I allowed them to flower and then just left them alone, and they dropped their seeds all over the place. And all I had to do is go and grab the seedlings and reorganize them. And I have French endive in here, some beautiful beets, some beautiful Swiss chard, and some cabbage, and lots of arugula. Oh yeah, and Japanese mustard, which is the purple leaf back there. And those are so easy to grow and so prolific. And that's the thing too, if you're going to eat a lot of greens, you want variety, because you can get bored with them really quickly. And so you have to investigate. I never got the, in the Midwest, they kind of grow you up on iceberg lettuce. And then people wonder why they don't like salad, because it's just this kind of tasteless form of lettuce. It's like filler food, and it has very little nutrition. So when people start learning about all the different options in regards to greens and different lettuces and different greens, and they taste all the different flavors that are out there, when you make a salad, it's like a meal. And I've had a lot of people come to the property that didn't think they liked salads, and then I made them one of my salads, which is like practically a complete meal with anywhere from 6 to 12 different types of greens in it, and they are blown away. They're blown away by the flavor, and they're blown away by the just how satiating and how delicious it is. But many people will never have that experience, because we're kind of like, we have this negative experience and then we close our minds. So you have to be careful with everything in life and everything in this world today, not to base your opinion and to close your mind on just 1 or 2 experiences. It's not scientific. These are a variety of green heirloom cherry tomatoes. This is one of my favorite tomatoes to grow. And one of the reasons is because, well, these are volunteers, believe it or not, which means these just planted themselves, and they will continue to fruit. If I protected them, they'd probably go till January. But just letting them do their thing, they will easily keep making tomatoes up through late November, early December. You might be able to see that in there. But the tricky thing with these, they're very difficult to find, and that's why I make sure to keep my own seeds and bank my own seeds every year. But to tell when the fruit is ripe is really funny, because they don't turn really yellow or red because they're green cherry tomatoes. And the first year I grew them, a bunch of them just fell on the ground and rotted. And then I finally learned that when they get this light blush to them, that's when they're ready to pick. Or of course when they fall on the ground. I'm trying to see if there was an example here of one to show you, but I think I ate them all yesterday. Basil's still looking good. And that's another thing. A lot of people grow herbs, but they don't harvest them. When you start seeing the indications, when the bottoms start getting yellow leaves and you start seeing that little bit of browning, you may as well cut all the leaves off of it and dehydrate them, or get if you can't afford a dehydrator, or you're not invested enough into preserving and growing your own food, I think that one of the best dehydrators, especially if you have just an average car like everyone else, is you just cut all your herbs, put them on a cookie sheet, and toss that in your car, because cars get so hot and dry that they make great dehydrators. Okay, that's my hillbilly DIY dehydrator tip for you. We're gonna walk over to the other garden now. Another reason why you want to, one of the benefits of growing your own food, and I've always believed this, and I kind of figured this out by myself at a really young age, is even billionaires don't have living food. They have fresh food, but to have the ability, and this is kind of my discipline, to cut that food from your garden, to collect that food and eat it within a half hour of harvesting it. And while the cells are still alive and that life is still moving inside of that, will not only keep you well and cancer-free, but those eating living food, they say you are what you eat, reverses age and keeps you alive. Okay. So this is a more mature, but it's very small Chinese chrysanthemum I was telling you about in the other bed. And I'm allowing this also to create flower, to create seed. This is the kale bed, which has given us a lot. We got some Lisbon onions. The thing about onions, so if you grow a couple different varieties, let's say you're collecting the bottoms of your green onions from the grocery store, a lot of people will cut the root off and throw the root away in the garbage. We cut the root off and plant all the roots all over the yard. And then we very rarely will dig up the entire onion and waste it. Almost every day we just cut off the tops of the green onions and use that to cook with, because then you're getting the benefit of all the chlorophyll and vitamins, and it grows back every week. And it will do this for months and months and months and months. So it's just smart. So what I do when my green onions start to flower, or when they are getting a little out of, like overgrown, and I have too many, is I will collect my flat leaf chives, my garlic chives, the Lisbon onion greens, the regular green onions, and any other type of onion I have in the garden, cut them up, dehydrate them, and powder them, and it makes the most amazing green onion powder you've ever had in your life. And the thing about the green onion powder is that you're not only getting the nutrition from the onions, but you're getting all the chlorophyll. Once again, you're getting these healing elements, these vitamins and nutrients that you don't get from the store-bought crap. It also makes an incredible gift for people. They love it. Anytime you can give your friends or family and share that gift of medicine and nutrition with them on an organic level, especially these days when stuff's so expensive, it's literally, you're growing wealth. It's a form of wealth. It truly is. Food security is a form of wealth. And in the future, you're going to see it's going to become more and more valuable. So all these beds are just kale, Swiss chard. This is my ground cherries. Ground cherries just finishing up this year. Inside of here will be a beautiful golden berry. These are so good. So many people don't know about these, but some of my more popular videos about the different types of ground cherries I have. These ground cherries also are going to drop berries everywhere, and those berries will make all the seeds I need for next year. Chickens love them. Kids love them. Okay. I think I'm going to wrap it up. I just wanted to show you the progress of what's happening with the winter garden. Next video, I'll show you what's happening with the citrus. That's another interesting thing people don't know about. So citrus, some citrus produces in spring, early summer, and some citrus, tangerines, are winter tangerines. So if you like growing citrus, you might want to get both varieties so you have constant citrus. And that will be the next video. Thanks for watching.